Happy Sunday! So I'm not going to do the punishment today because I didn't get to go into town because I live in a small community and there are no public places, so we have to go to a different place to go to the public place. Let's do that today, but my ride rescheduled, so I'm going to do that on Wednesday and it'll be up for next Sunday. And I'm going to read Tales of Beedle the Bard to the public. It's pretty funny. So the questions were, which TV character would you like to be? I would like to be Hero from Heroes. Yeah. I pick Hero because he's a good-natured person and he's just a cool guy and he's a time traveler. That's pretty cool. And he has a cool friend named Ando. And he's a superhero. Which, if you had a TARDIS, when and where would you go? I'd like to go to Narnia because I love Narnia and there's talking animals and it's a rural country. There's not like cities and buildings because I'm not very fond of those. And they're also all good people. They kind of fight a couple of wars, but I can get over that pretty quickly. And we recently got back from our trip. We went to Johnson Valley in Southern California, and we watched the King of the Hammers race. And what King of the Hammers race is, as 100 competitors in their four-wheeling trucks. We usually call them buggies because they go faster and over everything. They're kind of like can go over anything and everything, and rather than a normal four-wheeling truck. But they go over about 390-ish miles of trails and desert and stuff and mountains, all in usually about 6 hours, but it takes longer than that sometimes. And so all we did was we went around to the different obstacles and trails, and we watched competitors go through the trail. The last trail we saw of the day was called Sledgehammer, and there was tons of people all over the valley, and people getting taken out by rocks because there was loose rocks, and people climbing on the sides of the mountain. Yeah, we'll call it a mountain. I don't know, a very tall piece of land. And watching the race was cool, and we really enjoyed that. So the next day we went out and we met with a friend, and we went on a whole bunch of trails, and we got lost, turned around a couple of times because it's the desert. We get lost and everything looks the same. And so on one trail we walked up Sledgehammer, and instead of wheeling it because it's kind of hard, and walking is more fun on rocks and stuff. So we while doing that, we picked up a bunch of garbage, and because we happened to have a 50-gallon bag of just carrying around, and so we picked up a bunch of garbage. And we got a lot of beer bottles and stuff people left behind. It's like, ah, man, I wish they picked stuff up. But it was pretty fun. And we got kind of lost walking because we didn't really stick to the trail, and we went over a ridge and then through a couple of valleys, and we're okay, we're kind of tired because Jen and I were the only ones who brought a water bottle, and the other two people we were with, my dad and a friend, they didn't bring water bottles. So Jen went over another valley, and we went through a valley and got the rigs and brought them back to us, and we drove out and she got to drive, and it was pretty fun. But somehow we ran over this thorn-like plant, and it flattened my dad's tires, so we had to go get the spare on and all that stuff. It was pretty fun. Okay, so see you next week.